Hey everyone, and welcome to the start of what is a very spontaneous video. I don't actually know if this video is ever gonna go live or whether I'm actually ever gonna post it, but I came across a quiz on BuzzFeed recently where you basically pick what food you like. The title of the quiz is "Your food choices will reveal which great book series you need to read next." And so I thought, okay, let's do the quiz. Let's see if it gives me a book that I haven't read before, and if I haven't read it, then I'll read it, and I'll let you know whether BuzzFeed is a good place to get book recommendations from. That is my plan. Don't know whether it's actually going to work, but if you're watching this video, then clearly I've done the quiz and it's gave me a book that I've not read before, so yeah. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so I've got my screen record on, and the first question is, what's for breakfast? Which, that is life's greatest question. What is for breakfast? I'm a vegetarian, so I'm not going to go for bacon. So I'm going to go for egg and avocado toast. What were the other options? I do like pancakes and I do like French toast, but I do actually have avocado on toast like quite often for breakfast, whereas I'm too lazy to make pancakes or French toast. So we're going to go for avocado toast with egg. Next question is, you're hungry for a snack, what are you eating? And I'm going to go for potato chips, or crisps as we call them in the UK. Okay, so next question is lunchtime, what am I having for lunch? I think I'm going to go for salad on this one because I do like sandwiches. I like toasted sandwiches, and I don't know if I've really had much sushi. I wouldn't say that I don't like it, but it wouldn't be like my first choice, and I don't really like tacos, I'm sorry. Okay, so we're going for salad. Next question is, what's your favourite chocolate listed down below? Dark chocolate, don't even have to, oh, don't know what happened there. Okay, I think I accidentally clicked on that, but we're back. So yeah, dark chocolate. I don't really like milk chocolate that much. I will eat white chocolate, and I don't even know what semi-sweet chocolate is. Is that chocolate without sugar? I don't know, but yeah, dark chocolate is my favourite. Dark chocolate that's been in the fridge, that is like my dream. Okay, so afternoon snack. Do I want an apple? Do I want a smoothie? Do I want hummus or granola? I don't know why I'm singing like this. I think hummus is probably the one that I'd be most likely to eat. I actually really love hummus on toast, or hummus in sandwiches, or just like carrot sticks and cucumber sticks dipped in hummus. Ooh, okay, this quiz is making me hungry. I probably should have filmed this after lunch and not before. Next up, it's dinner time. And of these, the one that I probably eat the most is actually burgers, but like vegan burgers. Have I said that I'm a vegetarian? I think I said earlier that I'm a vegetarian, so I wouldn't have steak. Stir fry, I do make occasionally. Oh, but pasta. Ah, I do like pasta, and I do like garlic bread. I think I'm going to go for pasta. Yeah, I'm gonna go for pasta. Okay, so finally dessert. I don't know what I want for dessert. I like a cheesecake, but I also wouldn't say no to everything else. So I think, you know what? I think I'm gonna go for frozen yogurt. I think that's basically ice cream, isn't it? Have I had frozen yogurt before? Why am I saying yogurt? I don't say yogurt, I am British, we say yogurt. I think I'm gonna go for yogurt because I do like ice cream, and I feel like frozen yogurt is like ice cream. I think. I'm sure I've had it before. I'm sure I've had it before from like the dispense machines in like restaurants and stuff. I'm sure whenever I've been to visit my dad in America, we've had frozen yogurt, and it basically just tastes like ice cream, but slightly creamier. So yeah, gonna go for frozen yogurt. What's your favourite thing to eat while reading? I don't know. I don't really snack while I'm reading. I think I'm gonna go for mango because I don't have like a major sweet tooth, but I do like fruit, and I do like, you know, sweet fruit, and I do like mango. I also really like mango juice. Mango juice is really underrated. We need more mango juice in our lives. So, oh, okay. So the book series it's telling me to read is The Folk of the Air by Holly Black. Is that The Cruel Prince? I want to say. I'm pretty sure that's the Cruel Prince series. Okay, so it says, you're in for a ride with some enemies to lovers romance. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is the Cruel Prince series, which is a series that I've said I have no interest in reading. I don't know why. There's something about it that just doesn't really appeal to me. Is it a fae romance, like young adult fantasy romance? I'm sure that I've heard people say that it's similar to ACOTAR, which I do love. I like A Court of Thorns and Roses, and this is a fae romance. So I'll give it a go. I'm going to see actually if I can get it out of my library, and then if I can, and I can fit it into my reading schedule this month, then I will let you know. And okay, a little bit nervous, not gonna lie. Hello, so it's been a few weeks since I filmed the intro to this vlog because I was waiting for my copy of The Cruel Prince to come in at the library, which, as you can see, it now has. I don't know why I put off reading this book for so long, because it's a really popular book. I mean, this series is really popular, and I do tend to enjoy popular fantasy series, so there's no real reason why I wouldn't enjoy this book. I was actually looking through Goodreads, and most of my friends that have read this book have given it something like 4 stars. I think a few people have given it 5 stars, and then a few people have given it like 2 or 3 stars. So it's not like it's got really bad reviews that I can see. I don't think anyone that I follow has ever given this 1 star. So there's no reason why I wouldn't enjoy this book. So I'm going to keep an open mind. And what is this book actually about? Okay, so this follows a girl called Jude, and her and her sisters are abducted and taken to live in the world of the fairy. And apparently they're not treated very well because they're mortal, and I'm guessing that there's a prince who's kind of cruel because of the title. Okay, so I'm about 100 pages in now, and I am enjoying it so far, or as much as I can be enjoying it, because I don't feel like much has happened yet. It's mostly been world building and character development. So the story's told from the perspective of a girl called Jude, who, when she was a child, her parents were murdered by this fairy. So her mom used to be married to this fairy, but she ran away like many years ago, and this fairy has tracked her down and kills both Jude's parents, and he takes Jude and her sisters to live with him in the fairy kingdom because he feels like they are now his responsibility, and they're essentially raised like family. But Jude and her sister Taryn aren't very well treated by the Fae. They have classes with the other Fae, so they are treated like equals to a certain extent, but because they're mortal, they're very badly bullied. And one of the worst bullies is the prince, like one of the princes, who's called Carden. And I'm a bit nervous because I feel like he might become the love interest. And I don't know how I feel about that, because he is like a proper bully, like he's really horrible. And so I don't know whether I'm going to be able to root for him and Jude to be together. Obviously I don't know yet, but that is just kind of like my thoughts so far. I'm still trying to get a proper grasp on what the plot is going to be for this book, but I think that essentially there are 2 ways that humans can become part of the Fae court, either through marriage or through having some kind of skill. And Jude really wants to become a knight, and she's been training and she's been like kind of working towards that because she doesn't want to marry a fairy. What I'm liking is that Jude and her sisters are very different. So have I mentioned that she's got 2 sisters? So her older sister is very much a rebel and she's very defiant. And then Jude's twin sister Taryn, she is almost the opposite of that. So she's very submissive and she kind of keeps her head down and believes that they should just get on with things. And then Jude is kind of like a mix between the 2. The only comparison I really have for this is ACOTAR, because that's the only other book that I've really read that's like a Fae fantasy. And I have noticed a lot of differences, because in ACOTAR, the Fae are described as being very human-like, and they have, you know, like pointy ears, but otherwise they look pretty much human. Whereas in this, it's a lot more fairy tale-esque. And I'm pretty sure that I read that Carden has a tail, which I'm really struggling to kind of picture in my mind. But I do like that there's this contrast between the fairy kingdom and also the human world. A big part of the magic of this world is that fairies can't lie, whereas obviously Jude and her sister can because they're human. And so I think that that is going to become more of a focus and a bigger part of the plot going forward. Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a quick update because I'm making good progress actually on The Cruel Prince. I'm over 50% of the way through now, and I am really enjoying this. Like, I don't think it's going to be like a new favourite or anything like that, but I'm having a good time reading it, which is obviously what counts. The pace has definitely started to pick up, and I don't want to say too much more on the plot because I do want to keep this vlog spoiler free. I don't want to ruin things for anyone who hasn't read this book, but we've been building up to this royal event that's happening, and I have my suspicions over certain characters and over certain things. I think that there's more going on than than we know at the moment. And so I am hoping that there's going to be a few surprises and a few twists and turns. But yeah, I am mostly enjoying this so far. Only thing I would say is that I don't feel very emotionally attached to the characters. I don't mind Jude, and because it's told in the first person, like you spend a lot of time in her head, and I don't mind that. But I wouldn't say that I care about her really deeply, and I wouldn't say that I'm that invested in her and what's going to happen to her. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in this next half. So I've just got to the end of part 1. I think there's about 100 pages left to go. I didn't actually realise that this book is split into 2 parts, so that's interesting. I'm wondering whether this second half, or well, I mean, it's not even that half. Like I said, I've got 100 pages left to go, but I'm wondering if this next part is going to go off in a different direction. The last chapter that I read was very dramatic. There was a lot that happened in that last chapter, and I'm still trying to unpick it. I think it was too fast paced, I want to say, or maybe it's just because I don't really like a lot of drama in books. I don't want to say that I knew what was going to happen, but I'm also not really shocked, if that makes sense. I do like books that have a lot of political intrigue, but I don't think that the politics in this world have been very well explained. There are certain things that I understand, like I understand the history and I understand why things have happened in a certain way, but I want to be able to understand characters' motivations more than I do at the moment. It's coming across as a bit random. If I had to make a prediction at the moment, I would say that this is feeling like a 3 or a 4 stars, maybe like a 3.5. Like in my head, I'm picturing it as a 7 out of 10, which I'm fine with. Like I said, I'm not hating this book. I want to be able to care. And so I'm hoping that things will make more sense and that we're going to get a little bit more of an explanation in this last section. Hey everyone, so I finished reading The Cruel Prince last night, and I have a lot of feelings on this book. Towards the end, it started to get a little bit wild, and I thought I would wrap up this vlog just by talking about what I liked about this book and what I didn't like about it, because I gave this book 3 stars in the end, and I know that that's quite a neutral rating, but genuinely there are things about this book that I really liked, but then there are certain things that I really, really didn't like. So what I liked about this book the most was that it was very easy to read. There was something so addictive about it, and the more that I got into it, the more that I found I was really struggling to put it down. I also liked the intrigue and how the plot was very clever. I liked how things started to gradually make sense, and I always like that moment when you're reading a book and certain things click and you realise, oh okay, yeah, I see how that happens, like that makes sense. So in that sense, I did like the plot. What I didn't really like was how it started to get very, very dramatic, and I like a bit of drama in books, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I feel like it edges into cheesy, and I started to get that feeling with this book. I don't mind a little bit of cheesiness, but sometimes it can be a little overpowering and it can affect my enjoyment because I'm just too distracted. There were certain parts towards the end that I felt were very, very rushed, and I don't want to say much more on the romance, but I didn't like it. I didn't like any of the romance in this book. It didn't really make sense to me, and yeah, I can't really go into it without spoilers, but yeah, I didn't like it. I don't know how interested I am in reading the sequel to this, because my main issue with this book, I think, was that I didn't feel any kind of investment in the characters. I didn't really deeply care about them, and I feel like with the way that this book ends, I should be desperate to read the next book, but I don't. Like, I would be open to it. If you've read this series, then please let me know what you thought of the book 2 and book 3, because I think I would like to continue. I do find that the more that I read a series, the more I do start to care about the characters. Even if I don't particularly like the characters, I start to feel more invested in them, and so I don't know whether I want to finish this series. Like, let me know anyway, like what you think I should do. Can't remember if I said what my final rating for this was, but I gave it 3 stars. And so in terms of whether BuzzFeed is a good place to get book recommendations from, I don't think that this was a huge disappointment. Like, 3 stars is a good rating, and I had a great time reading this. It was definitely entertaining. I don't regret reading it, but it's not my favourite young adult fantasy, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think I'm going to end the vlog here. So thanks for watching. watching if you've made it this far. If you would like to do the quiz that I did in this video, I'll leave a link to it in the description. Let me know in the comments if you do the quiz what book you got, because I'm really interested to know. I think I might go back actually and have a bit of a play around and see what other books this BuzzFeed quiz is recommending. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.